Piggy build mode just got a brand new update out of nowhere, and I'm going to be going over all of the brand new changes that came in this update. There's probably a bit of confusion on what everything means, so I'm going to be going over everything in this new update that's been changed and added. First of all, we've gotten ourselves a brand new setting in the game, so if you go over to the game tab and you scroll down, you'll see a brand new button. Change allowed abilities. And when you go ahead and click that button, this is going to bring up a brand new menu. So what does this menu do? Allowed abilities. Toggle which Piggy and Survivor abilities can be used in this map. So let's just say you have a map where you don't want people to be using the speed boost ability, or maybe you don't want Piggy to be using the black hole trap and all that kind of stuff. There's no way to stop them from not using it. But now there is. You can now actually disable it in your game settings. So for example, I could be like, okay, I don't want Piggy to be using the crawl trap. That thing's annoying and it's gonna be unfair for this type of game. You could simply go in the setting and disable it, and boom, it's gone. Now, there are a few abilities, player abilities, that are disabled by default. The first one is the warp ability. You can, of course, enable this in your settings, but keep in mind that if you have some sort of player spawn or waiting room, if warps are enabled, someone can place a warp down right here, and then when they get teleported into the main area, they can place down another warp and send themselves back into the room that they're no longer supposed to be inside of. But don't worry, there's a very easy fix for this. All you really need is this simple little link setup. This is going to make it so that when players are inside the waiting room, they're not going to be able to gain energy. But once they're teleported out, then they'll start being able to gain energy. This is very simple. You just have this going into this, going into this, going into this. Set the timer to 1 second, set the looper to these settings, and set the energy block to this setting. When you have players teleported into your arena, you have the touch trigger linked over to the NOT gate. And now you can have warp in your maps without that kind of worry. If you want a map where players can go super fast, you can go into the allowed abilities menu and only enable player sprint. You can have this simple link set up for infinite energy. Same thing, this goes into this, this goes into this, this goes into this. Timer is set to this, looper is set to this, and energy block is set to this. And look at that, my energy instantly goes up. Now I can only use the speed boost ability and I can use it infinitely. The next change was made is that if you're hosting someone else's map and you go on over into here and you set the bot skin to use my equipped skin, it's going to use the Piggy skin that the original owner of the map is currently wearing. That way your map can be played right and actually use the correct skin for your story. Another thing that was changed in this brand new update is the fact that while some of you guys know that some settings actually get saved with your map slot, so for example the time of day, whether or not respawns are on, those get saved with your map slot when you hit the save button. But a new one that was recently just added was the force mode. Beforehand, force modes weren't savable. You had to sit there and add it and change it every single time you started up the game. Have you ever loaded up your map and the map wasn't set to first person mode and you had to go and restart and change it? Wow, worried about that no more. And with that change, all of the game settings are now savable. Another new change that you guys are definitely gonna love is the brand new Sam bot. Sam can now be spawnable as its own bot inside the spawn block. So now when we go over and activate our spawn block, it's gonna spawn in the actual Sam bot. And as you can see, he's chasing us around and doing all that cool stuff. You don't need to have it equipped as a skin in order to have Sam inside your map now. Additionally, if you place down some patrol points, as you can see here, and we also enable the game to be set to first person mode. So we're gonna spawn in the Sam bot, and as you can see, he's gonna just immediately start going over to the patrol points. But what he's also going to now do is he's gonna play his chase music. So depending on how the game is set up with the flashing red screen and all that, you can have some fun with that. Another change that was recently made inside of this update is having to do with the snowballs. So for some reason, the icons were not there. You may have seen it before where you go inside the item list and you're like, wait, what? Where are my snowballs at? Well, that issue has now been fixed. So you can now grab it, you can place it down, do all the cool stuff you were able to previously do with it. By the way, I made a guide video on how to use the snowball. There's so many crazy things you can do with it. So if you want to go see that video, it's up in that corner. Now for this next change, it states that it fixed TO when respawns are on. So based on my interpretation, I think either if you have TO as the bot and it kills someone and respawns are on, it would like bug or trip out. Something along those lines. So if you've experienced that issue, that has now been fixed. The next bug that's been fixed is if you go over to the Mr. P Jolly skin. So as you can see, I'm in the game with the Mr. P Jolly skin right now. And normally what you guys probably have seen is that when you place down a decoy, what would end up happening is Mr. P's body parts would be all white and blocky and all that kind of crazy looking stuff. But now, as you can see, the Mr. P Jolly skin is perfectly normal now. He will be able to successfully deliver all of those gifts on Christmas Day. He just disappeared, so not anymore. So for the next change that was made in this update, it says that it fixed survivor mode triggering tag. So I think what ended up happening is that if you went over into survivor mode, sometimes it would just turn everybody into tag. It would like just activate tag mode for no reason. I don't even know how that's possible. But hey, if you've been experiencing that issue, it's now been fixed. Especially if you got a battle royale mode in your map. And finally, the last change that was made in this update, especially if this is a very good thing if you're a mobile user, but the NPC creator menu was starting to clip or go out of bounds or even be too small. A lot of weird little issues and stuff like that, but it looks like these have now been fixed. It says it fixed the avatar creator clipping on small mobile device screens pending confirmation. So maybe if your mobile device was like too small, it would just, this entire menu would just be way too zoomed in. So it looks like this issue has been fixed, but we'll have to see how it goes. But hold on a second, let's go into people's maps and see how they're utilizing the brand new update. You know, just because some abilities like the decoy, warp, and speed boost have been disabled in people's maps, I think they forgot one ability to disable. The gun. All of you guys have been on the oh, it's you again. You know what I want for Christmas? Your arm, Georgie. If you just hold, oh, there we go. I definitely took his arm. Georgie, I want to say thank you for giving me that great Christmas gift. I really appreciate it. But I'm feeling a little greedy. I want more. Okay, there is way too many people. This is more gifts than I asked for. Even though, of course, I said I was being greedy. We're gonna have to burn them all down with the flamethrower. Tiger's on fire. He just says you. Sam, you gotta go down. You gotta go down like in the new Christmas chapter. Oh, and they're dead. Yeah, they don't actually fall apart. They just T-pose fall. What if I just give everyone a rocket launcher? Oh, and the carnage has already begun. You can see body parts are on the floor. Everybody's just dead. Hey guys, you all have a phone call. Here, take the, oh, look at Officer Doggy. Everybody's just vibing on their phones here. I think it's time for a dance party. So it says, what the heck is going on? Who is doing this? Anytime there's ever a raiding your Piggy skin, people cut in these maps. I'm gonna show you how to cut the line like a pro. All right, so we got our green Periastron. Anybody who bumps into this force field is just gonna get shoved out of the way. They're all, I don't even know where they're being sent. No voting for book 1. Those skins are very outdated. I don't know what you guys are voting for here. I don't think there's a category in that corner. I'm not gonna be able to swim in all this acid. Oh, hey, my ride is here. All right, this will help me avoid all the acid. See, this is a much nicer aerial view. Oh, oh, he survived. I thought he jumped in the acid. But these are all the brand new changes made in this update. Which feature do you like the most? I posted a bunch of videos on the new update and a bunch of new build mode tech that'll really improve your game. So if you want to see more stuff like this, subscribe.